Hey guys, welcome to my yearly update on whether Airbnbs are still worth it in Big Bear Lake. I've gotten great feedback on these videos over the years, and they've helped countless buyers and sellers just like you make smarter decisions in this market. So let's get into the 2026 update. Are Airbnb investments in Big Bear Lake still worth it? Short answer, yes, but not the way they were, like I said, years ago, especially back in 2021, and not the way most investors are doing it now. If you're thinking about buying a short-term rental or you already own one and wondering if you should hold or sell, this video is going to give you the real numbers of what is actually working right now. I'm Brad King with the Bradford King Group, and I work with investors every single week analyzing short-term rental data. So let's break this down and see what's changed and what still works. What's different in 26? First, the easy money era is over. Back in 2021, 2022, you could buy almost anything, throw some furniture in it, throw it to Airbnb, and it would book. That's not the case anymore. We have more competition. Buyers are definitely more price sensitive in this market. Operating costs, insurance, utilities, cleaning, maintenance, everything is higher. But demand in Big Bear Lake hasn't disappeared. Tourism is still strong, especially now that we got the snowstorm just hitting. We're still one of Southern California's top drive-to-mountain destinations, and unlike seasonal markets, Big Bear has year-round appeal. Summer lake season, winter snow season, we even have bookings in fall and spring. The difference, though, is you have to buy smart in 2026. Here's what's performing well right now. Of course, 3-bedroom homes in prime locations. Hot tubs are very clear. Hot tubs are no longer optional. They're a must-have in this market. If you don't have one, you're competing at a disadvantage. Homes that feel updated and intentional, not outdated cabins with old furniture, and properties priced correctly relative to the rental potential. Now let's talk real numbers. The typical short-term rental in Big Bear is about 135 nights booked a year. That's roughly 37% occupancy. This is going to be your baseline. One of my properties, though, I hit 172 nights, which is 47%. That's 10%, 37 versus 47. Massive difference in running the numbers. And this didn't happen by accident. It came down to buying correctly, designing correctly, pricing dynamically, and understanding what guests actually want. From my experience working with investors, you really need to shoot for that 40% occupancy if you're trying to get your most of your expenses covered comfortably. Also, that depends on your nightly rates, of course. If you're below that, things get tight. If you're too high above it, you can get a diminishing return. We can talk about that in another video or over a phone call. But if you're underwriting at 37%, outperform, great. But if you're running numbers on your potential Airbnbs and they're only making sense at 60% occupancy, that's going to be a red flag. So let's underwrite conservatively. Let's target for 40% or better. That way, when you run your numbers, if you hit higher, you're covering everything you need. So most solid short-term rentals up here are grossing anywhere from the mid-40s to low six figures, actually depending on the size and location. Gross revenue isn't profit, though. You have to remember management, cleaning, utilities, maintenance, supplies, insurance, and mortgage. Your margin matters at the end of the day. Another thing is, time is valuable. A lot of you are worried about chasing pricing daily, adjusting rates, responding to all these questions that the renters might have. It can feel like a second job. But good news for you guys now, there's an AI-based pricing and management system out there that can handle most of this automatically. They dynamically adjust your nightly rate based on demand. They respond to common renter questions. They can set the door codes before your renters check in. They can automatically turn the heat up before your guest even arrives. You can set your property up on autopilot if you structure this correctly. Now, investors, where are the ones that are succeeding right now? They're buying at the right price, the right location, which I can help you guys with, putting down enough to control their payment. You have to also improve your property. You have to make sure you have hot tubs, updated interiors, professional photos, smart pricing systems, many things to get into. And here's something. Some owners who bought at the peak pricing in 2021 and 2022 are exiting, which means opportunity can exist this year if you know how to spot it. Question is, who should buy in 26? I think you should be a long-term thinker, buyers who want lifestyle and income. You have to be investors that are disciplined with your numbers. If you're looking for quick, easy, passive money, this probably isn't your market anymore. You're going to have to do a little more groundwork before you can get to that point. But if you want a mountain property that pays for itself over time and appreciates strong and a great Southern California vacation market, Big Bear makes sense for you guys. Yet again, 2 years in a row, I've hit 60K gross on mine. I'll show you guys an example of that so you can see that I'm not full of it. But it wasn't just done overnight. I was, like I said before in my other videos, projected to only do about 35K a year. We're constantly hitting 60K a year. This off season, I'm going to do some more upgrades in the house so I can hopefully push 65, 70K a year. And that's only on a 3 and 2, 1,300 square feet. It's close to Summit, but everything else makes sense on it. So if you guys want more, in-depth decision-making or details or some questions, you want to run some numbers, feel free to reach out to me at brad@bradfordkinggroup.com, or you can shoot my team a text at 909-683-1502, and we'll go over everything in detail. But this is also just for my clients that are buying or selling with me. I don't just do Airbnb management on the side. It's only strictly for all my buyers and seller clients. Thank you.